in the rolling countryside of Bradford, Devon, where the River Torge winds lazily through ancient woodlands, stands Dunsland House, a grand, time-worn estate steeped in history and shadow. Built centuries ago, its weathered stone walls and ivy-clad facade whisper tales of bygone eras. But it is within its shadowed halls that the true mysteries linger. For decades, locals have spoken in hushed tones of the house's spectral inhabitants. Their stories passed down like heirlooms, each one tinged with a chill that defies the warmth of summer. At the heart of Dunsland House lies the dark panelled room, a chamber so heavy with the scent of aged oak and wax polish that the air seems to press down on those who enter. The walls, lined with intricately carved wood blackened by time, absorb light like a void, and the silence here is thick, broken only by the occasional creak of the floorboards. It is said that this room is never truly empty. By night, faint whispers echo from unseen corners, and a cold draught snakes through the air, even when the windows are sealed tight. The centerpiece of the room is a great four-poster bed, its crimson drapes faded to a ghostly scarlet, the wood etched with marks no craftsman could claim. Locals swear that a supernatural sleeper occupies it, a presence felt rather than seen, a weight that presses down on the mattress when no living soul lies there. In 1953, a young housemaid named Evelyn, newly employed by the estate's then owners, fled her post after a single night. She claimed she'd heard ragged breathing from the bed as she dusted late one evening, and when she turned to look, the impression of a body sank into the coverlet before her eyes. She never returned. But the dark-panelled room is not the only haunt within Dunsland House. Down a narrow corridor, past portraits whose eyes seem to follow every step, lies another chamber, one with a secret of its own. Tucked behind a false panel in the wall is a priest's hole, a cramped, lightless space used centuries ago to hide Catholic clergy during the Reformation's brutal persecutions. The air within is damp and stale, the walls scratched with faint, desperate marks, prayers perhaps, or pleas for mercy. It is here that the ghost of a little old lady is seen, her form as fragile as a wisp of smoke. She wears a high-collared dress of grey lace, her face etched with sorrow, her hands clasped as if in eternal prayer. Those who've glimpsed her say she appears only fleetingly standing by the priest's hole or sitting in a corner of the room, her eyes fixed on some distant point. In 1976, a visiting historian named Margaret Poole encountered her while examining the room for a book on Devon's hidden histories. Margaret had been alone, or so she thought, when she felt a prickling at the back of her neck. Turning, she saw the old lady by the hearth, her gaze mournful yet piercing. The figure vanished as quickly as she'd appeared, leaving behind only the faint scent of lavender and a chill that lingered for hours. The residents of Bradford have long accepted Dunsland House's reputation. The estate has changed hands many times over the years, its owners drawn by its grandeur but often unsettled by its atmosphere. Families who stayed longer than a season spoke of strange occurrences, doors that creaked open in the night, footsteps pacing the upper hallways, and the occasional glimpse of shadows where none should be. Yet none could deny the house's beauty, nor the allure of its mysteries. The dark-panelled room and its spectral sleeper, the priest's hole and its mournful guardian, they were as much a part of Dunsland as its sweeping staircases and leaded windows. In the 1990s, a local schoolteacher named Peter Grayson, fascinated by the tales, organized a small gathering on All Hallows Eve, inviting a handful of friends to spend the night at Dunsland with the permission of its then owner. They gathered in the dark paneled room, armed with candles and a bottle of brandy to steady their nerves. As midnight approached, the temperature plummeted and the group fell silent, their laughter replaced by taut anticipation. Peter later wrote in his journal that he felt the bed frame shudder, as though someone had sat heavily upon it. Across the room, one of his friends, a stout farmer named Ted, claimed to hear the faint rasp of breath, too close to be imagined. They didn't linger to investigate further. The group fled to the corridor, their candles snuffed out by a sudden gust. Later that night, as they huddled in the drawing room below, Peter's wife, Clara, ventured to the priest's whole room to retrieve her forgotten shawl. She returned pale as milk, swearing she'd seen the little old lady standing by the hidden panel, her frail hand outstretched as if to beckon her closer. Clara refused to set foot in Dunsland again. Today, Dunsland House still stands in Bradford, its silhouette a familiar haunt against the Devon skyline, though its halls are quieter now, visited more by curious tourists than permanent residents. The stories endure. The dark paneled room remains untouched, its four-poster bed an unspoken challenge to the brave. The priest's hole, too, keeps its secrets, and the little old lady's sorrowful gaze lingers in the memory of those who've seen her. For in Dunsland House, the past does not rest. It waits, as patient and unyielding as the ancient oaks that guard its gates. Many thanks for treading this tale's dark path. If its chill gripped you, follow, subscribe, and comment below.